Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, CBG proudly brings to you the bull market that nobody wanted and no one expected. Of course, if you were tuned into All in the Charts, none of this price action should be surprising you. I am the Crypto Bull God. Guys, welcome in. I am back in the home office. It is so nice to be back in regular fashion here. Glad to see a really good turnout today. I know I've been off for the past couple days. Yesterday I was expecting to be on. Life happens. Got way too busy. Was up late working, so didn't have a chance to join. A lot of exciting things going on this week, not to mention the price action that's going on within the markets, which we're going to spend time talking about. Today's live stream, I promise for it to be very informative and very value-added as always. We're not going to be keeping it to 30 minutes. We'll see how long the live stream goes. We could go an hour. I don't know, but I haven't been here for a few days. I want to make sure to allot enough time for TA Q&A, and I also want to cover a lot of charts here. Greg and Todd coming in hot and heavy with the Super Chats. Guys, you know that I appreciate it so much. Never expected, but always appreciated. Let's fucking go. Quick announcement before I get into the comments here. If you guys know Tactical Investing Alex over at Tactical Investing, he is a fundamentalist at heart, not a chartist. And so, the special announcement that I would like to make regarding this channel and regarding this coming weekend and a live stream that's going to be going on, I'm going to be beginning a new live stream. It's going to be called Beyond the Charts. Now, the idea behind this live stream, it's not going to be a daily live stream, but it will be as often as I can do it. Beyond the live stream, the purpose behind this live stream is to combine fundamentals and technical analysis and see where synergies lie between both and what opportunities there are to learn things from a fundamental perspective as well as from a technical analysis perspective. So Alex is going to be coming on the live stream and providing many informative views from a fundamental perspective. And then I'm also going to be tag teaming that with some views on technical analysis. So make sure you hit the bell icon for all notifications to know when we go live on Saturday. Of course, if you follow me at Crypto Bull God on X, I will be posting something very shortly that is confirming the time on Saturday, and we're kind of working through what the agenda is for that as well. So very excited to announce that. And by the way, the CBG podcast has not disappeared. I just haven't had time to do it yet. So we got the CBG podcast. We got All in the Charts. We got published videos I need to get out there. And we got Beyond the Charts. So the channel is going big. Go big or go home. Alex, welcome in. Good to see you, my friend. Rory, as always. And Rashid, welcome in. Yeah, we're going to take a look at some dips to keep things in perspective. Oof. Let's fucking go. Bitcoin right now feels like BTC at 20 to 23. It's funny you say that. Very similar vibes here as well. And based on the charts that I've been trying to share with you guys, it does seem we're at that December 20 sort of tipping point going into January of 21. And I'll explain why if you haven't been here recently. Track, welcome in. Good to see you. Guys, let's get into the charts here. Quite a few charts that I wanted to cover. By the way, make sure if you aren't already, give Tactical Investing a follow here. I think that you'll find his content very informative. Let's jump into the punchline. Now, I don't put things on this channel for hype. I've never done that. I can be a little corny with the humor. I can put some things out there that'll, if you're new to the channel, I can be a little out there. But at the heart of the content that I create, it's founded on education, okay? For those who are newer to the channel, I am an actuary in my day trade. I do a lot of statistical analysis. I'm a data guy, right? So no matter what my brand of humor is, I always come at this from a logical and well-informed viewpoint because I've been in this market for years and I've learned a lot of life lessons. Now, in the thumbnail, we were talking about $80,000 in an alt season. Where in the hell am I coming up with all of this? Well, let's jump right into it. Where am I coming up with $80,000? If you believe this was the bottom of our... Remember, I've been speaking to a broader Elliott wave structure, and we've been waiting for that fifth impulsive wave, right? For everyone new here, the impulsive top was in the spring of 21, not 2022. This was part of what's called an irregular expanded flat correction. This was a wave 4 within a broader Elliott wave structure. Okay, this is the bottom of wave 4. So if you believe this is wave 1, or excuse me, the bottom of wave 4, and each impulsive wave structure has five waves within that wave structure as well, right? So we're waiting for wave 5, but in the creation of wave 5, we have 3 impulsive wave movements up, 1, 3, and 5, and we have 2 corrective waves within that wave structure as well, 2 and 4, right? 5 total waves, 2 corrective, 3 impulsive. So if you believe this is the top of wave 1 here, we went up to wave 1, we had this correction. The correction actually took us slightly above wave 1 and back down. This is the bottom of wave 2. We are in the midst of wave 3. So the question is, if this is a correct viewpoint, there's kind of 2 questions we could ask ourselves. One is, what's going to be the top here in wave 3? And we'll get into that in a moment. So we're going to top somewhere up here. Then we should have a corrective wave 4 and a final blow-off top in wave 5. Now, again, I want to hammer home on this, guys. If you're newer to the channel, if you're returning, I'm just going to continue to repeat a lot of the same things over and over again. One of the key things that I like to do on this channel is when there are important items that I think you are supposed to be keeping at the forefront of your mind in order to increase the likelihood that you will be successful in this market, I'm going to repeat them. It is much less important to have some level of conviction in terms of a dollar price point we're going to top at. It is a lot less important to have a handful of months picked out where you think that Bitcoin is going to top. Those things are much less important. Do you know what is most important? Again, this is coming at it from somebody who's been here for years. Someone who, again, I've been pretty damn transparent. Somebody who made a fortune in 2021, 2022, only to watch those unrealized gains go by the wayside because I did not hit the sell button, or I did not hit the sell button because I had a primary view and was stuck on that primary view and it didn't pan out. So it's important for me to, in order to increase the likelihood this time around, that I'm going to seize the opportunity, learn from the past, and actually prosper from the movements up. What am I going to do differently this time versus last time? The answer to that question is I am going to rely on a handful, 5, 6 at most, a handful of indicators that tell me we are seeing impulsive price action within the market. I'll define what I mean by that in the video that is set to publish by latest early next week. Impulsive price action. I want a handful of indicators, and when they start all flagging, that is time. That is going to be time for me, at least, to begin selling a portion of my Bitcoin and for watching for altcoins to begin topping out. I will very clearly explain all of that in the upcoming video. Knowing what you're looking for to tell you that you are seeing true euphoria, and the market is topped, close to topping, on the verge of topping, that is what you need to know. And one of the other things I'm going to hit on in that video is there's a whole host of things you could be looking at, but we need to also keep it stupid simple. We need to identify the most relevant indicators that we think are diversified. Those indicators are diversified somewhat, and they also provide a lot of historical significance in leading us to feel confident that it's smart to start selling. No one will pick the perfect top. No one will pick the perfect bottom. Remember, if you were here, guys, I felt at the time more than likely we had bottomed here. We had one final leg down, right? So I thought we had bottomed at 17,700. we went down to 15,600. I can tell you right now in the grand scheme of things, whether you bought Bitcoin at 17,000 or 15,000, it doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things, right? So it's less important to pick a perfect bottom, but it's more important to feel confident that you, in this case, are buying at extremely oversold sensical levels. Up here, I don't know if we're going to top at 110, 90. I don't know if we're going to top at 95,000, 105, 150, 120, 130. I could care less. When all those indicators start to flash to me, I'm scaling out my investments. That is what I plan on doing. I'm going to be completely transparent about that. Okay. So how did I come up with the $80,000 price target? And let's speak about why I believe that a true alt season, I'm talking a true alt season, is going to be here at latest. Let's look at the calendar. A true alt season is going to be here at latest within the next 2 to 3 weeks. The start of that true alt season is within the next 2 to 3 weeks, okay? Why do I feel confident with that assertion? Well, let's take a look at where I'm coming up with this $80,000 price target. Now, first off, again, this is the topping point of wave 1, right? And we're waiting for that wave 3 impulsive top. Now, this again, for those who are new to the channel, what am I actually showing on this bars pattern? This was my rough sketch of my expectation back in September of 2023. And so far, this is playing out beautifully, okay? Now, again, I don't expect this to pan out perfect. I do not expect Bitcoin to hit 125,368 by the week of June 3rd. I'm not expecting that. But this is my rough expectation. If that does happen, we'll come back to this video and we'll have some fun with it. But that is not my expectation. The key point is that this is my rough expectation. Now, where am I coming up with $80,000? What we do is we take the rough bottom, just the rough bottom here of our wave 4 movement. We come up to wave 1. We come all the way down to wave 2, which is right here. Okay? And this gives us Fibonacci extension levels. You can see $50,000, 65, which we've gone past. The next Fibonacci extension here is the 3.618. Now, also keep in mind that in an Elliott wave structure, by the way, guys, I don't want to give the false illusion. I am not an Elliott wave technician master. I have not taken formal courses in Elliott wave principle theory. I have read about Elliott wave principle theory. I have listened to others and accumulated knowledge. So I feel like I have a good basic understanding of Elliott wave principles, but I am not an expert at Elliott wave. So I certainly want you to keep that in mind. But when taking a look at these extension levels here, you can see this 3.618. We've already surpassed, you can see here, we've already surpassed this 2.618 at $65,000, right? The next extension is all the way up here at $80,000, okay? If I have this drawn correctly. For some reason, I thought it was 81, but whatever the case is, whether it's, yeah, it's 81. So $80,000, whatever the case is, because we've surpassed that fib extension at 2.618, I'm saying it's highly likely we're going to come upwards of the 3.618 extension. Now, if you've looked at these things a lot, one of the things you'll recognize is we do not necessarily have to hit this extension perfectly. This is, again, as I have shared with you on multiple charts that we've taken a look at on this channel, I have a very smart community. We've looked at a lot of great charts over the course of the past year. Hard to believe. We're going to celebrate a year on all in the charts very shortly. When we enter price discovery, the exciting thing is there's no price confluence. When we look left, there's no areas of resistance or support in order to make an informed decision in terms of where price might gravitate towards on the way up and have challenges and then come back down and get support, right? So one of the things we can do, that's a challenge. So one of the things we can do once we enter price discovery is to use these things called Fibonacci extensions, okay? And if you study charts enough, if you are a nerd like me and you spend a lot of your free time either out in the sun by the pool or on the beach, squatting and deadlifting and charting, a lot of time charting. If you spend a lot of your time charting, what you would find is these Fibonacci retracement levels, because we can look at retracement levels, and extension levels often play out. Now, it is very possible we could overshoot this target. It is very possible we could undershoot this target. That's why I've been saying for weeks, okay, or I don't know how long at this point, but I've been saying I am expecting a move up to the mid $70,000 range to low $80,000 range for Bitcoin before a pullback. This is why I was expecting hitting this 3.618 fib extension. And then the last point I would hit on here, which I think I forgot to mention, is typically within an Elliott wave structure, when you're looking at those three impulsive waves, the 1, the 3, and the 5, because remember, 2 and 4 are corrective, okay? The 3 tends to be that most impulsive surge, right? So my current view, we're going to come up somewhere around $80,000. That is when we are going to pull back. That is when we are going to see our wave 4 correction, okay? How deep we go, based on history, we're not going to go as deep as most people think. That is one thing I will share with you. We will not go as deep on that correction as most people think, okay? I could see us, if we hit theoretically $80,000, you could see a 20% pullback, maybe a wick below 20%, maybe a 25% pullback. But I think resting right around $64,000, around that impulsive top from 2021 would also make a lot of sense. We'll go back in time in history real quick and take a look at how far we corrected down last time. But I could see us correcting down to the $69,000, $64,000, $60,000 range somewhere there. We're not going to be in the 50s. I will say that. I don't think we're coming down to the $50,000 range. Now, the question then you have to ask yourself before we get into alt season and why I believe that's going to be happening very soon. The wave 5, right? Remember, this is a 5th wave, but once this thing corrects, this is a wave 4 within the 5th wave. We still need that 5th impulsive wave to come up. Now, we have entered a true parabola. I don't know how you can't look at this chart. I mean, by the way, I saw a post today that I liked on Twitter. I wasn't on X too much today. I was pretty busy. But I saw a post today that said you basically have to be literally, and I know this is a no-no word to use, but you literally have to be retarded to be shorting Bitcoin in a market like this. I'm not going to name names, but there may be a popular influencer or two out there who's gotten their ass handed to themselves and now is quickly reshuffling and trying to create a narrative to save their ass when everybody knows this person made a monumental mistake attempting to short this market. It is very evident that we are entering, we are in a parabola. So the question we have to ask ourselves, and this is where I'm open to the realm of possibilities here, okay? I don't want to be short-sighted here. Again, it's all about identifying those things you're going to use to say, are we seeing a true impulsive top in the market? I can see a scenario, and it's my predominant scenario. This parabola continues like this. And we essentially, and this is my primary view, we've entered the parabola, and our blow-off is in, as early as May, but really like June, July. That is my primary view. I could also see maybe some further consolidation in here. And then we see our wave 5 blow-off top more towards the end of this year, maybe early 2025. I'm very open to all scenarios. I am more open to additional scenarios this time around than I was in 2021 and 22. That was my mistake in 21 and 22. Again, it's all about identifying those handful of keep it stupid simple topping indicators that you're going to look for that true impulsive top, right? Now, the question we then have to ask ourselves is, if I am correct and Bitcoin tops somewhere, now again, this isn't a blow-off top. You're going to see a lot of people talk about when we do finish this initial move up in Bitcoin, you're going to see a lot of people come out and say, that's it, right? Not so fast. So whenever we do initially top here at this high $70,000 range to low $80,000 range, this is when Bitcoin is going to come down for that wave 4 correction. This historically as this occurs, as Bitcoin runs into the $77,000 to $80,000 level, this is when I believe we may very well see something I've been speaking to for a long time on this live stream. One final gasp on the Bitcoin dominance. Because what you have to understand is in that moment, it doesn't mean your altcoins are going down. In that final moment where you see a lot of volume come into the market and Bitcoin has that initial impulsive top within that wave 3 movement up towards the upper low $80,000 range, you're going to see Bitcoin outperform altcoins in general as a weighted average of all these altcoins, okay? That is what results in Bitcoin's dominance increasing on this chart. That's all this reflects. How much of a share of the market is Bitcoin gobbling up? Well, if it's already the biggest crypto project. So if it's going up 10-15% in one day, and the rest of your altcoins are just lagging at 0.5%, maybe some are down 0.25%, something's up 1%. That outperformance by Bitcoin is what ultimately leads to that final initial run up in Bitcoin dominance. The people who have not been here and understand what's going on, again, you're going to see narratives that this time is different. This happens. I should put out a post or a video or something about popular narratives that come out around this time and things you need to be mindful of and pay attention to. This time is not going to be different until proven otherwise, meaning your altcoins, and I've shared these charts with you, whether we look at Total 2, Total 3, Total Others, your altcoins are setting up for a fucking explosion. Okay? Make no mistake. I'm not here to tell you and to dummy it down and say that your altcoins are ready to move up. No, your altcoins are ready to fucking explode. For those who have been patient and waited, mark my words, come back and comment on this video and tell me I'm wrong. Your altcoins are setting up to fucking explode. What is going to happen, and it's based on history, you can see it. Back here is the most prominent view that we can take a look at in 20 going into 21, and we'll take a look at this time period here. As we get the initial topping and Bitcoin coming up here, I don't care if we hit, it doesn't matter if we hit 58, 57, 56, or 60%. The point is around the 58% range, you're going to see dominance start to do this. As dominance is doing this and falling, that is when capital is flowing into your altcoins. This is what causes an initial alt season, okay? You will see a lot of news press. You will see, if you go to your, mark my words, check this out. Go to trending searches on Google. Go to trending apps being downloaded. You will see Bitcoin. You will see Coinbase. You will see things like Ethereum. Of course, news follows the charts, as you know on this channel, not the other way around. Would not be surprised. It's not needed. It's not needed. But I wouldn't be surprised if around the time that alts are running, the Ethereum ETF is approved. Again, I don't need the Ethereum. We do not need the Ethereum ETF to get approved for this to happen. I've been signaling to you this is what my view is of what's going to happen, okay? News is going to follow the charts, not the other way around. The charts are not following the news, guys. The sooner you realize that, the more informed decisions you will make in this market. The charts, the news follows the charts and not the other way around. I know it's so counterintuitive, guys. It took me years and years to come to that understanding. I love my father. He's an extremely well-educated individual, but he could talk me till he's blue in the face about who is president of the United States and blah, blah, blah. It doesn't matter to me. The news follows the charts, not the other way around, okay? So let's take a view. And by the way, real quick before we actually take a historical perspective on things, and I'll get to the comments, don't worry. This is alt season number 1, guys. Now remember, this 58% dominance is achieved during the wave 3 movement, a sub-wave 3 within a broader wave 5, right? So as dominance begins to fall, okay, maybe we fall, let's just pick a round number here. Let's just say we fall, I don't know, let's just say we fall down to the golden pocket. Where's the golden pocket? 45% dominance. Fib retracement levels, the 0.6, 0.8 is a common area to retrace to. You can see it's around 45%. Is there any price confluence there? Let's look at 45%. Let's see. Let's just theorize where dominance could fall. I'm not interested in getting it exact here. But my view is anywhere between 48 to 44. I think 44. 44 is actually a solid level. 44 to even maybe 42. So what you're going to see is you're going to see an initial drop in dominance here, okay, all the way down to maybe 44, 42 area. Then if I'm also correct in my assertion, boy, I like using that word a lot on this live stream. If I'm correct in my assertion, that Bitcoin is entering a wave 3 within a broader wave 5, what's going to happen is Bitcoin's going to enter that final fifth wave within the broader fifth Elliott wave, and that is when Bitcoin is going to have its true impulsive top that, in my opinion, will most likely take it over $100,000. I think it'll still be significantly lower than what you will see, and I will put out a video tempering your expectations, because at the end of the day, guys, I really need you to understand something if you've taken the time to check out this channel or you're reoccurring coming to this channel. I can't state this enough. I am a regular person. I'm nobody special. I am literally no one special. I'm just somebody who loves this market and is very passionate about it. And I'm also someone who at heart is an educator. And so if I can take principles that I have learned, and in this case I'm talking about cryptocurrency, and I can educate them to you in a way that is easily digestible, and it allows you to make a more informed decision, there is nothing, I'm not trying to be corny, there is nothing that would put a bigger smile on my face, all right? Besides me also profiting in this market. It would make me feel so good inside if, people reached out to me after it's all said and done and said thank you, because, you weren't 100% correct, but you added enough material to this market that was value added, and it helped me make a well-informed decision. That is what I want. I do not want to give you fish. I want to teach you. I want to teach you on how to learn how to fish. That is the most important thing. So remember, this initial run in altcoins that we're going to see, in my opinion, which is at the latest is going to start within 2 to 3 weeks, you're going to see a lot of your large cap and mid caps running, and then we're going to get into the small ones. That's how the money flow works. We're going to dip down here, and then we'll have a little bit of a rally back for Bitcoin as it has its wave 5 impulsive top. Then this one here, okay? Don't pay attention to the times that I'm pointing it out here, okay? This final drop, which I believe, by the way, you heard it here first. Of course, I've said this before. Now, I've had some pretty contrarian views if you've been following this channel, right? If you were following this channel, contrarian view number 1, macro perspective, melt up before meltdown. I cannot tell you how many times I told my family melt up before meltdown. I cannot tell you how many times back in 2022 and 23 I told you melt up before meltdown. Now that rang contrarian to what you were reading about in the news outlets. Have we not been seeing a melt up? We're going to have a meltdown, guys. We're going to have a big meltdown. It just, a broken clock is correct twice a day. And the people who have been calling for doom and gloom, they're eventually going to be correct, but they've been dead wrong for a year and a half. Okay? So, melt up before meltdown, contrarian view. Contrarian view number 2, I believe it is very possible Ethereum is going to flip Bitcoin temporarily for part of a day, maybe a full day. Contrarian view number 3. Bitcoin dominance is going to make a new all-time low. Now, the all-time low in Bitcoin dominance was set back here in 2018. The first week in 18 at 35.4%. We're going lower. We are going lower. So what does that actually mean? What that implies is that Bitcoin has less of a market share of the cryptocurrency space, implying that your altcoins are going to have a mega fucking run and gobble up more market share. There's a lot more competing projects out there. Here's a contrarian view number 4, and something I've shared before. I'm not going to name projects because I don't want to ruffle any feathers. But your top 10 projects that you're going to be having a conversation with me about a year from now are going to look different than they do today. Whether Matic's in the top 10, Caspa is in the top 10, whatever these projects are, your top 10 is going to look different a year from now than it does today. This happens every single cycle. Now, let's take a look at, I believe, one last thing before I get into the comments here. I love the engagement, guys. Hit the thumbs up. I see a lot of people tuning in with little engagement on the thumbs up. Would appreciate it. So let's take a look because, again, I've made a lot of similarities between the price action that we are seeing today and comparing it to what we saw in 2020 going into 2021. And so far, so good. Or as the Megadeth song goes, so far, so good, so what? Okay, so in 2020 and 21, if we go back in time, this orange line represents our prior all-time high at that point. And if you're new tuning in, make sure you hit that thumbs up. I'm going to have a lot of valuable content coming up over the next week in particular that I hit on. Make sure you rewind to the beginning because I covered that at the top of the channel. You can see when we started, a couple things to note here. When we cleared our prior all-time high, I have 2 questions for you. What was the rate of acceleration? The rate of acceleration increased, right? This was a parabola. I can't show this anymore here. Look at the rate of acceleration here in particular. Look at this parabola. Look at how price it just is going up at an alarming rate. We had a pullback, but I guarantee you that was not as far. If you go back in time and you look at what people were saying when we were up here at when we were up here at $42,000, $43,000, I guarantee you there were people calling for this. Okay? Never happened. We never touched that impulsive top at $20,000. Okay? So, takeaway number 1 is once we cleared all-time highs, we just continue going up for a period of time. Point number 2 is our pullback was rather shallow, all things considered. Our pullback here was 31%. 31% roughly, okay? So it wouldn't surprise me, again, if we top around $82,000, and I got my little calculator, let's say a larger market cap, a little less volatility. Let's say we have a 27% pullback. So if I take 0.73, which is 1 minus the 27, times, I'm just doing some theoretical numbers here, we'd pull back to $60,000, okay? So again, I'm not expecting for a massive pullback in price once we get up to that high $70,000, low $80,000 range. Now, what happened here? Once Bitcoin stopped running here in January, look at where this stopped running. This stopped running here when we saw this little 31% pullback here, right? What was happening in the altcoin market? Altcoins started running. I don't need to go to an altcoin market chart to show you that. We looked at Harmony One the other week. Look at what happened here. This is the end of December now, going into January. This is where we topped out. This is exactly where BTC USD topped out. Look what happened. Dominance dropped. Now here we stabilized in price, right? We had one a couple things here. You really can't see it when we're auto-adjusted like this. You can't fully appreciate it. Look at this here. Remember, I talked about one last final gasp up in dominance to 58%, around 58%. Look what happened here. We were right around this price area, and we were topping out at 68%. And dominance had one last gasp up to 73, 74%, right? From 68 to 73, right? And then we rolled over. Now, during this time, what happened? Money left Bitcoin and it went into altcoins, okay? People saw the opportunity. Bitcoin, it's a risk-on environment, guys. Understand the emotional sentiment. Bitcoin just blew past its all-time high and doubled. Well, fuck, I own Ethereum, I own Solana, I own Cardano. Those things are like half of their all-time high. Time to pump those things up. We need to at least clear all-time highs, okay? Money starts fleeing into projects that are lagging, okay? Some will run better than others. And if you said to me, well, hey, CBG, how do you know which are going to be the better performers? It's all in the charts. Whichever charts are stronger, this is where technical analysis comes into play. Whichever charts are stronger are going to perform better, okay? So, and I could give you tons of examples of that, and we've covered them on this channel. But during this time, this is when altcoins ran, right? Well, what happened here? What's up with this stabilization? I said once we top at 58, around 58%, we'll come down to maybe 44%, right? Or 46, 42, 48, whatever it is. And we'll stabilize, and then we'll have one final run up in dominance, which here it didn't even have a run up. It just had, maybe we'll just stabilize. Maybe we'll stabilize or have one final move up, short move up. But during this time, what happened? This was during this time period as Bitcoin tried to make its final last gasp up, and then it sort of teetered in here. And again, as soon as it began to stall out, as soon as Bitcoin began, and it wasn't exactly at the all-time highs, but as it started to peter out, altcoins just fucking stole the show. They stole the show and dominance went down. That was the narrative that played out and what this chart is telling us. And again, until history changes, this time doesn't need to be exactly the same, but it's certainly going to rhyme. Again, I don't know why this is such a challenging concept for some people, and I don't mean that to be degrading. I really want you to listen to what I'm about to say, and I'm going to hit on this on Saturday's live stream in different words. The value in technical analysis is the following. Technical analysis is an empirically based analysis. It's a numbers-driven analysis. It's yes or no, black or white. We have historical data. We look left. Based on historical data, price patterns, price indicators, it allows us to make a probabilistic statement about what we can anticipate today and moving forward. I think some of the reasons that people get hung up on technical analysis is because it doesn't lead to a certainty. Or maybe technical analysis didn't go in the direction that somebody told them. Well, if someone is telling you with certainty that something's going to happen, unfollow them. Because there are no certainties in life besides being born and then dying. Those are the only certainties in life. Beyond that, what we can use data for, empirical data, is to make an informed decision about our expectations today and moving forward. It's the same thing I do as a pricing actuary. I evaluate historical data. I don't know what's going to happen in the future, but I'll tell you what I can do. I can do some mortality studies, and I can tell you how experience looks and my relative expectation moving forward, so I can help to appropriately price insurance products so that insurance companies don't go insolvent. It's the same fucking thing you do in technical analysis. It's the same thing, okay? There's no certainties. It's just an informed, data-driven, empirical analysis. I hope that was helpful. All right, that was a lot of knowledge with college and a lot more than just college thrown at you. So let's see what we got here. By the way, this was on a different live stream, maybe tomorrow, guys. We'll cover volatility because a lot of the price movements you're seeing today, okay, if we zoom in on I'll hit on this on tomorrow or Friday, whatever day. A lot of these wicks here, what you have to understand real quick, and again, I don't want to steal thunder from tomorrow's live stream. What you have to understand is you can't miss the forest for the trees, okay? I posted this out here. If you're going to go down to a 2-hour chart, you're going to focus on this bullshit, then you're going to miss this, okay? We are literally in the midst of a parabolic move up. Please, guys, for your own sanity and success in this market, wow, what happened there? Okay. Okay, my computer just went blank. Hopefully I'm still live streaming. That was really fucking weird. Oh, you guys saw that too? I'm watching the replay here. I don't know. Okay, my computer just went blank. It must not have on your end. But anyway, for your own sanity and success in this market, do not focus on a 2-hour chart, guys. Understand the difference between a day trader and an investor. I am an investor. I'm not a day trader. I'm not even a trader. Did you hear what I just said? I'm not a trader. Well, of course I'm not a trader. I'm a very honest person with integrity. But I am not a chart trader. I don't come on here and trade charts. I told you 95% of my portfolio is invested. I use technical analysis to make informed decisions on sensical areas to buy and sell from a longer term view perspective. You hear what I'm saying? The 5%, as I just told my significant other the other day, the 5% that I trade with, it's fun. It keeps me engaged in the market. There is an aspect to it that I really enjoy. Do I fuck around with leverage? This much. Literally this much. You can't even see it. I could make a really bad joke, but some people wouldn't appreciate it. This much right here, okay? I don't fuck around with leverage. Things that I trade are for fun. It's a small percentage of my portfolio. Don't, as I said today, and Raul Paul said this best. Raul Paul. Where did I put this? Let me just show you a post real quick. Well, I can't find it. But the crux of what I was saying is don't fuck this up. Don't fuck this up because you went to a 2-hour chart and you were watching some influencer on YouTube telling you about Bitcoin having a big correction and now is the time to do this and now is the time to do that. Guys, take this view. Are you selling here based on this view? Are you selling based on all these macro views? We're just starting to turn. The RSI on the monthly has just started to turn above 70. Why in the fuck would you be selling here? It makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. Keep that perspective. Let's get into questions. That was pretty heated there for a while. It was blabbing and blabbing and blabbing. I'm going to take a few TA questions that I have time for. I can see we're already 43 minutes into the stream. Keep in mind, I'm going to be back tomorrow. I don't know what time I'm going to live stream on Friday. I did decide to take the day off. I need some sanity for myself, some relaxation away from work. No comments there. And might go to the beach. It's going to be a nice day. Take a day for myself and just chill a little bit. Unwind. It's good. Get away from the computer for a little bit. But I should be here on Friday, though. I'll definitively be here tomorrow. I should be here Friday, though. So let me know what questions you guys have. The questions that I don't get to for TA Q&A, I will get to them tomorrow because Tuesdays and Thursdays are always TA Q&A. All right, let's see what we got. And by the way, one thing real quick as I continue to read down here, Raghorn, Caspa is setting up to rip much higher. I think a lot of people who have decided not to accumulate in this range are going to be missing out like they did in the 3-cent range. What's going on right now is very reminiscent to me of 3 cents. Now, we went from 3 to 19 cents, and that was not during a euphoric period. You're telling me that Caspa cannot hit $2 to $4? My primary view on Caspa is $2 to $4. I have a video out there talking about a $2 to $4 Caspa. That is not Moonboy talk. That's logic and a very reasonable approach in coming up with that estimate. So you can check out that video. So we're setting up for a massive leg up in Caspa. Remain patient. One other thing I didn't hit on top of all the things that I spoke to here is keep in mind one of the things I didn't directly point to, although we indirectly spoke to, we're in a parabola. So by definition, what happens in a parabola? The price really starts to escalate higher in value and quicker. So that's why I'm saying $80,000, like if we're going to initially top out at 80 at that sub-wave 3 of that bigger fifth wave, would not shock me one bit to see that happen by Saturday. But again, just based on the current trajectory, if I had to take a educated guess, I would say by next week. If it doesn't happen tomorrow or Friday or Saturday, it's going to, I think by next week, latest is a week later. We're setting up for you're going to wake up and you're going to see a God candle, a daily candle on Bitcoin, 10%, 15%. It's going to be a big candle, and that is going to be the moment where everything that I spoke to, in my opinion, educated view, pans out here. So we will see. Alts are going. You think Bitcoin has had a run? Just wait until you see what altcoins can do. And this is only alt season number 1. Alt season number 2, or where you're going to make the largest gains. Okay. Alt season number 1 is watching your portfolio go up. Like, wow, that just happened. I thought my portfolio was a decent size. Now it's this. Kind of feels a little dirty. Alt season number 2 is where it starts to become feeling filthy dirty, and you're like, I need to start selling things because this is unsustainable. Okay? What's up, Juan? Good to see you in here. Jorge, always good to see you. Where's Casper at? It's just been kind of lying dead at 5 cents, right? Yeah, it's not doing shit. Yeah, I know. Those laggards, man. I'm positioned appropriately. I still think Casper's going to have a pretty big move up at some point soon. I posted a chart out there explaining why. So I still think that thing doubling from 5 cents to 10 cents, that can occur within 1 day. So just hang in there. Especially given the market cap. You're welcome, James. Oof. Watch my topping signals video. I'll comment on that. Track says 75,000 by Friday. Track, it could happen today, tomorrow. I'll be honest, with the current moves we're seeing in the market right now, 75,000 by Friday seems too conservative. Again, I just feel like that God candle is going to come in at the most unexpected time. It's just my sense on things right now. Like alt season, it's like it's like shaking a soda bottle right now. And somebody just needs to take the top off. Got a TA question on Say. Oh, J. Kim, you haven't been here long, my friend, if that's your comment on Caspa. I'll remember. J. Kim, I'll try my best to remember that was your comment on Caspa. We'll come back to that at some point. Earthwalker, let's fucking go. Yeah, I'm not a computer guy, AI bags. That's probably what happened. Yeah, I was on fire there, I guess, Rashid, right? Welcome in, DT. DT may be perhaps in the live stream, he may be the longest standing supporter of this channel. I think he's been here since the days of the original CBG podcast, way back. 2000 and... was that even 20? I think 2020. Long time ago. So it's crazy to think about, but always good to see you, my friend. DMTR. I agree, logical move. Longer the, what is that saying going? Longer the space, basically longer the consolidation, higher the space. I forget how the saying goes, but yeah. So Caspa, real quick, guys. Nothing has changed on Caspa. I mean, you guys, this isn't a falling wedge. Slash. Not only is this a falling wedge, this is on the daily, by the way. Nothing has changed with this. It's wide here. It's getting very narrow. Not only that, but I'd like to welcome you to the bull pennant. And the technical target, depending upon breakout. Let's say it starts to break out by Friday, this Friday. If we start to have our breakout by Friday, this would be the technical target. Let's take a look at it. Technical target is just shy of 29 cents. So I don't know why the hell you're salty on this. This thing has the capability of doubling within, once a breakout occurs, 2-3 days. So I really wouldn't get salty on it. And by the way, this is, you have Caspa sitting up there at 30 cents, 40, 50 cents. That's not when true euphoria is coming into the market. That's not without tier 1 exchange listings. It's not listed on Binance. It's not listed on Coinbase. If the timing of those announcements come out at the right time, as they have in the past for other projects, that's also going to be a clear topping signal. If Coinbase announces Caspa listing on July 7th, around the same time that Bitcoin seems to be topping, probably a good indication it's time to start selling Caspa sometime soon. Elias, we are aligned there. You have very similar thoughts to myself. Oh, I just spoke to that, my friend. I just spoke to all that. Just spoke to all that at the top of the live stream. You must have not been here. Just rewind and go to the back. I appreciate you sharing your thoughts, though. Really good thoughts in terms of extensions that you have listed there. Alchemy, yes. We took a look at Alchemy recently. I can take a very, very quick peek at it. YC, welcome in. Where the hell's Evan at? I don't see Evan here. DGB has started to move. Yeah, I need to get that damn DGB video out there. What's up, Frankie? All right, guys, let's get into a couple questions here. Now, again, let me make sure any of the super chatters don't have any questions. Greg, in particular, I did want to tell you, Black Oil, it does feel, I said that at the top, feels great to be in the home office. And Todd, again, thank you for the support. So no questions from those guys. Let's go from the top to the bottom. Now, if I don't get into your TA question today, if you come back tomorrow, I do promise to answer your TA question then. The first question that came in here was... yawning on this channel is unacceptable, especially during a bull run like this. Where was the first question? Oh, Say. Let's take a look at Say. And by the way, let me actually jump to Rashid real quick just because I have this chart up. So this is ACH. Nothing has changed here. We broke out. Rashid, I just covered this recently. We broke out of a, 2.5-year downward consolidation or downward correction, really. You can see the descending resistance here. We broke it here. Look where we topped out at. The blue zone is my initial zone that I expect to get up into. Look where we wicked. The top here, I mean, guys, you can't draw this up any more perfect. I mean, seriously. Look at the upper upper part of your screen, what does it say the high is? 4.4 cents. Where's the red line drawn here? 4.4 cents. So ACH hit a problem spot exactly where I had drawn out. So not surprising. But if alt season truly comes in where I'm like I'm expecting, you're going to see ACH double digits. You'll see it up here over 7 cents towards 11, maybe 13 cents. That is definitely my view. You could see it maybe double top up here actually at 24 cents before a pullback. Let's get into say. Yeah, Lethia AI is moving. I have several targets on that. Charting some meme coins here. All right, let's see. And I know we've looked at this before, but clearly, oh, perfect. Nothing new to report here. I mean, we're essentially in the same spot we were. We're essentially stair-stepping up. I mean, you can see the higher highs and higher lows are coming in. High, a low, a higher high, a higher low, a higher high, a higher. We're in price discovery. Well, there's a wick here, actually. And the other thing to recognize with say is this is a psychological level. Now, I've hit on the concept of that many times. $1, think about it. It's very psychological. $100,000, and it's especially why I leave room for the possibility that Bitcoin never even breaks $100,000 before undergoing its massive correction, just because it is a psychological level. There's a possibility for everything. So this is a psychological level at $1. So once it's anybody's guess where we could use fib extensions, but we're just consolidating in here. Nothing new to report. Yeah, we're just consolidating. Nothing really going on within the chart that I see. No bullish divergence or anything. Yeah, nothing new to report here. Consolidating, waiting for a decision here. Now, based on where the market's at, I can tell you right now, I believe the decision will be to the upside, but we'll just have to be patient and see if we see further volatility. I mean, check out the volatility here. We were up at $1. We corrected all the way down to 61 cents. We had a 40% correction here and bounced right back up. That's how volatile these things are. DMTR. Why does this one sound familiar? I think Tech Dev. Oh, pardon me. I don't know what's going on. I think Tech Dev was talking about this, right? Doesn't he own DMTR? I'm subscribed to his newsletter. Look at this. I had this zone way back here. We haven't looked at this one in a while. We're in that zone. And then I also spoke to a zone down here, which if we move this over, you can see we just missed it. We just missed it. But we're right in the orange zone I spoke to. So we had this is horrible price action. We had our first sort of leg up, consolidation, sideways action. Now look for some resistance right at 33 cents. If we can break through 33 cents, I would look for another area of resistance right there at 51 cents, followed by 90 cents. And of course, there's a psychological level at $1. So we just have to start clearing some of these red areas, DT, that I have laid out here. Nothing really else to report here. Again, a lot of these strong impulsive movements you're going to see when the RSI is overbought. A lot of things something that people don't understand is that price indicators can remain overbought and oversold for extended periods of time. They're flags of caution, but you'll see if you haven't experienced a massive correction in the market before, you'll look at something, it'll say it's oversold, and then you're exercising hubris if you're catching a falling knife. You never want to try to catch a falling knife, because what you have to recognize is things can remain oversold for extended periods of time. So here the RSI on the weekly is overbought, but there's no reason that it can't remain overbought until we see a significant pullback. It's just something to take note of. Now, based on current price action, what I would sort of expect, my expectation looking at this, and this is a clear topping candlestick on the 12-hour here, I would expect some sort of a consolidation to occur in here. Maybe we form a pennant of some sort, a flagpole, and then we can draw our next move up. That's kind of what I'm seeing in the chart. So I got ACH, I got those three. TEL, I don't have any thoughts on it. I don't own any. I've never traded any. I know we have looked at it before. Yeah. So TEL is something, and again, you can see I circled this zone back here, right? And it's been a while since we looked at this chart. You can see we finally got up there, right? Now, the key thing is whenever you're evaluating a chart like this, you've had a significant move up. What you don't want to see, as exciting as this price action is, you don't want to see this move up in a straight line without any pullbacks. At some point, I want to see a correction here, and I want to establish support and then continue moving up, okay? This is a beautiful move. But at some point, I want a pullback to establish healthy consolidation and support at this level and then continue up. Because if we continue going up like this, the move back will more than likely be a lot more harsh, right? As we continue to break these areas of resistance, which are red, and we have confirming candlesticks close, we can change the red to green. For right now, I'm going to leave them red. But you can see the next areas of resistance that I have marked here. I have 0.9 cents, 0.122 cents, and 1.2 cents and 2.3 cents. Guys, I think that's going to do it. We've been live streaming for an hour. I'm going to call it a day, see what other comments we have here. But bring your TA questions for tomorrow. I'm glad to be back in the home office. Make sure you check out Saturday's live stream with Alex from Tactical Investing. If you haven't given him a follow, make sure you do. No, I don't have any knowledge on Roku, James. Sorry. Greg, Black Oil, let's take a look at Quant tomorrow. In fact, we'll kick off the live stream looking at Quant. Interesting you asked that because I haven't really been readily checking the price, but I recently saw it was up like 30%. So I did want to take a look at that to potentially enter a trade. So we'll take a look at it tomorrow. Yes, your meme coins, well, of course, everything's going to run. A rising tide lifts all boats, but the meme coins are giving you a clear indication of what to expect moving forward. So yeah, meme coins are going to run. I still think Bonk is a potential top 20 as an example. So they're going to continue to run. You're welcome, everybody. I hope you found today's live stream informative and helpful in terms of why the thumbnail that I put out there for today's live stream is accurate. I believe something around the $80,000 area. If it doesn't come in this week, more than likely it comes in by next week. That's going to be that initial topping point that's going to lead to your alt season number 1 for reasons I already described. If you didn't catch the top of the live stream, make sure you go back in time and watch that. Until next time, everybody, which will be tomorrow, let's all spread awareness and carry the education forward. Good to see everyone. Thank you for the engagement today. Fun times.